Good morning, everybody, and happy Thursday. I wanted to come and make a video this morning because I found something. Well, let me tell the whole story. I ended up moving in January of this year, and when I moved, I was carrying something, and I'll share it with you in just a second, that I've been holding on to since October of 2015, which is when my Uncle Mark died. Uncle Mark was the youngest child on my maternal side of the family, which makes him my mother's brother. He was just cool, laid back. He had his cigarettes, his Honda Accord back in the 90s. He was just the coolest guy that I knew growing up. And I just always looked up to him. Not only was he the coolest guy that I knew, but he was also a funeral director. So he always had the cool stories about the services he would work. So Uncle Mark was that person that could make you laugh like you've never laughed before. He was the person that introduced me to funeral service and sparked that passion in my life. He was just a one-of-a-kind person that can never be replaced or forgotten. Uncle Mark was just such an amazing and special person. I could go on for hours and hours and hours about what a special person he was. But one thing that I want to make sure that I explain is that there's been such a void created since he passed away in the lives of not only myself, but my entire family and everyone who knew him. So like I was saying, I moved in January, and earlier this week when I got into my car, I smelled something like an odor that I knew shouldn't have been in my car. Well, what happened was, I'm guessing this was in one of my boxes and it came out. I guess it fell out. And for the last month or so, it's just been riding in my car. And now that it's getting a lot warmer in Georgia, I guess it's beginning to rot and go through decomp, and it's beginning to smell. So this is what I've been carrying in my car. And what these are, not that you will be able to tell now, but what these are the flowers that were on the casket spray on my uncle's grave. I had them in the freezer at my previous residence. And as I said, I moved, and I guess they fell out of one of the boxes and have just been sitting in the trunk. And I guess they were okay because it was a little cooler outside. But now that it's warming up, they're beginning to mold. And I think that was the smell that I was smelling earlier this week. But this is really not an easy video for me to make. But I wanted to share this because a lot of times when we're going through grief and mourning and going through a loss, we tend to cling to items, whether they be physical items or items that have a special type of bond to you that represent that person in the last place or experience that you've had with that person. It could be clothes, it could be shoes, it could be vehicles, it could be anything. And I just want to make it clear that grief is not limited to death. You could be grieving a relationship, you could be grieving losing a job. You can grieve and mourn anything, but in this situation it happens to be a death. And I know I can't take these and put these back in the freezer because I could make myself or someone else sick from the mold. And I know now, even though I've been carrying this for about 2 years now, or it'll be 2 years this year, I have to part with this. And I don't know why I've developed such an attachment to these flowers. I guess because it was one of the last things I saw near my uncle. But it's time to let it go. And I want to let anybody out there who's mourning, grieving, and holding on to something, whether it be physical, mental, emotional, financial, anything, it's okay to let go. No one can tell you how or when it's time to let go, but when you feel that it's time to let go, it's okay. I'm not going to say that the thing that you're holding on to isn't tied to the person that you love, the thing you love, and whatever it is that you lost, but I am going to say that sometimes, when holding on to these things and being afraid and not letting yourself release them, you're carrying around mold and sickness, and you could be harming yourself sometimes more than you're helping yourself. I really don't know what to say to help you get to the point where you can let go, but it's okay. And this is a simple bag of flowers. I mean, I can't imagine having to let go of the clothing or something that represented someone that was in your life every day, that you shared your life with, moments, love, laughter. It's okay to let go. And I'm only speaking to those who are at that point. I'm not trying to push anybody to do something they're not comfortable with. This is something that I'm experiencing right now, and something that I'm working through as I'm talking to you. But I just wanted to let you know that it's okay to let go. Come to that point. It's okay to let go. And when it's time, you'll know. But it's hard, but just know it's okay. Hey guys, so I couldn't bring myself to just throw the bag in the trash. So I kind of wrapped it up and tied it, and I'm going to have a little release ceremony later on today where I just discard of this. I don't know whether I want to put it in a trash can or a box. As I said earlier in the video, everyone grieves differently, and grief is such a personal thing. But this is my way of letting go. And in the next video, I think I'm going to talk a little bit about the power of letting go, and what has to be done next is the reinvestment of energy and, of life. So I'm letting go of this, but I'm trusting that, I'm going to reinvest the energy that I've been holding on to this with into something more positive. I love you guys. Live life, love hard, and as always, I'll talk to you the next time.